Welcome back to Carpinity, everybody, and today we're going to talk about the new mid-engine Corvette and the new SUV that Lamborghini's making, which they haven't made one since the LM002, if I'm correct, right?
Sounds about right.
So let's start off with the Vette because I happen to have a soft spot for those. But some CAD drawings have leaked out of GM. I'm sure they're not happy about that, giving us a new insight to 3 possible engine choices and some new suspension options.
All right, so the first thing we know about is the engines. There was an IHS market analysis study leaked here recently, and supposedly what that does is outlines GM's manufacturing of engines for like the next few years, and it's a market analysis. Keep in mind this is like a forecast, but it does show a 6.2 liter engine being produced within the Y2 chassis code, which would be the mid-engine Corvette that's coming up. And so that would be a pushrod engine like we're looking at now, carrying on into a mid-engine Corvette. The CAD renderings that we've seen recently, these support this particular engine option. The other 2 engine options would be a 4.2 liter twin turbo dual overhead cam V8, which we know nothing about so far. They expect it to be produced in lower numbers than 6.2. And then there's also a 5.5 liter twin turbo dual overhead cam engine that also suggests even lower numbers yet. So think maybe mid-engine Corvette Z06, mid-engine Corvette ZR1 probably.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
So they're showing some pretty cool engine options. And I would think, and I would just assume that from the lower displacement, we could be talking about flat plane crank engines.
Oh. They sound nice.
So that's the direction they look like. But I mean, that's no one knows for sure. We do know that the displacements, and these are coming from an IHS market analysis research paper, a forecast into engine production over the next few years.
No, those CADs showed some coilovers, correct?
Yes.
That opens up a whole lot of options for them, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what we're seeing here is there's more room, and these CAD renderings they look to be snapshots somebody's taken on their cell phone of a computer screen. I assume whoever took those, they'll be okay with us using them because you're not going to copyright something that would slap you with an injunction. Anyways, we see that this new car is going to have coilover suspension, and that makes sense because now, without the engine in the front and having to deal with steering mechanisms, the engine and strut towers, you've got plenty of room to put them in. And also with the back tires not having to steer, you've also got more room in the back as well. Although it doesn't show clearly in these CAD renderings that there will be coilovers in the rear. And the only reason you would think maybe they wouldn't be there is to make room for these turbo engines. So the width is still sort of at a premium in the rear, but not as much as it was in a front engine Corvette.
What about transmission? What do you think about that?
Okay, so I had made a video earlier and predicted myself that we would see a Corvette transmission similar to what we see in current Corvettes, something that can be shared throughout the lineup of vehicles. As you know, current Corvette transmissions may be mounted in the rear, but the internals of the transmission are similar to what you would see in an Escalade. But what's going to be different here is we're actually seeing in these CAD renderings axle shafts that are exiting outside to the transmission. So you're looking at an actual transaxle and not a transmission mounted to a differential like we have in current front engine Corvettes. So likely a bespoke transmission, which opens up some options. You could see a dual clutch in a Corvette now.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Doesn't show in the CAD renderings, but it could be. It could be anything different because it's not what's going to be in front engine cars.
There's no hype about it, guys, but there's one thing I really want GM to introduce on this car is their own set of carbon fiber rims. I don't know why. After Ford released the Shelby, I'm just like, come on, GM. That's my thing.
Well, you know, GM is
throwing it out there, GM. Come on.
GM is investing in carbon fiber. They've said recently that soon there will be carbon fiber in the pickup trucks. So you would think if they can make pickup trucks with carbon fiber and produce on that level, we could at least see carbon fiber wheels. Anyways, that's what we know so far, right, about the car. We'll give you another look at these CAD renderings so you can kind of make your own assumptions. That's all we know.
Yeah, that's all we know, but we do know a little bit about the new SUV coming out from Lamborghini, that it's around $200,000, 4,850 pounds, making 641 horsepower.
So it's coming in a bit lighter than the Trackhawk.
Yes, now don't get me wrong, guys. The Trackhawk's cool and makes 707 horsepower, which is wicked awesome. But since it weighs more, they're going to basically, what I think, they're going to be about the same launch.
Yeah. So we're talking power weight ratio of what? 7.57 for the Lamborghini Urus?
Yes.
7.59. Okay, so we're talking a virtually identical power to weight ratio. I think depending on, how these things are able to get off the line, the efficiency of the transmissions, these cars could be dead even in acceleration. Maybe the Lamborghini Urus was lower profile, and depending on its aerodynamic efficiency, we could see these cars running
top speed, maybe.
It does have a higher top speed, and likely because it's a smaller vehicle, so it's got to punch a little bit smaller hole through the air.
It also does have another higher number, the price. Do you think it's worth $200,000? That's what they're saying it's going to cost. I'm assuming, guys, that options are going to get it up to close to $250,000, $260,000.
See, I mean, people pay a lot for Lamborghinis now, but part of it is because
the name.
I mean, it is the name, but then it also looks like this crazy wedge. But this thing, although it is very not conservatively styled, it's still going to be an SUV profile. So, are you willing to pay that much more for, like you said, it's going to be mostly the name?
Yeah, because the Trackhawk, guys, starts off, it's not $100,000 to start. You get that 707 horsepower, all-wheel drive nastiness for around $90,000 to $92,000, and $100,000 is where you kind of stop with all the options.
So we're talking more than double the price, because they're predicting around $200,000 or more for this Lamborghini. So we're talking at least double the price here, and that's a lot to pay for this Lamborghini. I know it has a claimed higher top speed, 189.5?
Yep.
So it's claiming the highest top speed. So Lamborghini expects this thing to go around the Nürburgring faster than the Alfa Romeo, which holds the current record at 7 minutes 15, which is blazing fast. That's faster than my C6 Corvette Z06.
Oh, man.
So that's a really fast for an SUV, and this Lamborghini Urus expects to beat that. So, I mean, if it does, that'll be a remarkably fast track weapon. I expect it'll get around track quicker than a Trackhawk, being as how it weighs more, but I would say that's a huge price premium for that.
That is, and that's some. Let us know, guys. Would you rather have the 707 horsepower Trailhawk for $90,000 to $100,000, or would you want the special name of Lamborghini and the higher top speed for 200 plus? Let us know in the comments.
I'm going Trackhawk.
I'm going the same way.
I'm normally one that I would say, I'd take a Lamborghini. That's one of the cars because you get so much. You don't just get good performance like you get with a Ferrari. You also get those crazy looks and a car that feels special. I mean, they got all the flip-up things for the push button. But when it comes to like an SUV, I mean, I don't care how much you dress it up, it still looks like an SUV.
Yeah, it still looks like an SUV. And to be honest with you guys, technically, it's still got more horsepower. In the end, I got more horsepower. I win.
I think the Trackhawk is a handsome-looking car. And that's where I go.
Yes, and the interior in that vehicle too. I've seen it in a few videos, and my God, it looks as good as probably the Lamborghini's going to look. Maybe not as fit and finish, but it's nice. So many options, the gauges. Oh, it's pretty in there.
Yeah. So, well, you guys, let us know what you think. That's about all the more performance-y news from the past couple of weeks. So. That's the biggest stuff we could think of.
Well, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it, and come back to Carpity sometime.
Peace.